Hey, what's going on, everyone? Gillis TV back here with another video. Today we got some Oilers lineup news from practice, possible injury today, as we'll talk about that, and what a win by the Oilers last night. Of course, they did blow that 3-1 lead, but that overtime by Nugent Hopkins, Hyman, Ekholm to keep the pressure going after the McDavid Bouchard dry line kept it going to start off the overtime and then, of course, finished it. Just a phenomenal job by those other three to keep the pressure going. That's the way we like to see. Of course, Ekholm had a few opportunities in that overtime as well, but it was all in all a great effort overall. Again, they did blow the 3-1 lead, but Sorokin, on the other hand, he did make a couple of good saves. Just Oilers couldn't bury one, and Sorokin did keep the Islanders in it as long as he could. But that's pretty much just my game recap there quickly. If you're new to the channel, like anything Oilers related, from news, trades, rumors, whatever there is, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We do all other teams, but of course I'm an Oilers fan. If you can see the jersey in the background there, I got a Gretzky and an old Oilers one. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, as we are 85 subscribers away from 1,100 subscribers. Now let's get into this. Oilers lines and pairings at practice. Same as last night with RNH, with McDavid and Hyman, Podkolzin and Draisaitl, Yamark, Henrique, Brown, Skinner, Ryan, and Perry, Bouchard, Ekholm, Dermott, Nurse, Emberson, Kulak, and Stretcher as the 7th D. They are, of course, rotating Stretcher in with Dermott and Emberson, and Picard was in the starter's net. I do assume he will get the start tomorrow against Nashville. I believe he's 2-0 against them this year, and going into the final meeting until possibly the playoffs there. So if Nashville, of course, can turn things around to get to the playoffs. As you probably noticed, I didn't say Viktor Arvidsson. He was not on the ice today. According to kris Knoblauch, it was a maintenance day, but he is dealing with something, and says Arvidsson is a 50-50 for tomorrow's game, as the forward was not on the ice this afternoon. I noticed kind of late last night that Arvidsson wasn't really out there. I think he maybe played 2 or 3 shifts that I noticed him out there in the third period. But Knoblauch also says he feels comfortable with both 11-7 and 12-6. Both of those, or the 12-6, would require a call-up for tomorrow. He will chat with Stan Bowman and proceed together after, probably I would assume, sometime tonight. So if that's the case, they go 12-6. We could see maybe Matthew Savoy coming up to play the wing. I wouldn't mind Noah Philp. You guys all know that I rave about this kid. Just what he's gone through, came back, almost made the Oilers opening night roster. And I really think it came down to the veteran Derek Ryan having more experience than Noah Philp. But the games Noah Philp was here when McDavid was injured, he looked like he deserved to be in the NHL. So those two guys, I think, would probably be the ones possibly getting called up. Drake Caggiula also did have a really good outing in his little stint here when McDavid was injured too. So those 3 names are probably going to be your ones to watch. If they do go that way, they might not, just to save the salary cap and use the accrued cap space by just going with the 11-7. And then that way they can keep accruing cap space and no other moves need to be made. And you go 11-7, you play McDavid, Draisaitl, possibly you shift them the way they do. They play anywhere between 3 and 5 minutes more tomorrow night, and I believe Arvidsson would be ready to go the next game. So, and that's with going off Knoblauch saying he's 50-50 for tomorrow's game. So that being said, when you do have a guy like Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl who could take on the extra minutes for a bit for one night against a struggling Nashville team, and you go 7 defensemen, even if you want to throw on Stretcher onto the 4th line or whoever for a shift or here just to give some breaks, you can do that. And yeah, other than that, there's not much to go off today. Other than that, for now, we'll see what happens with the Oilers. They probably will do a call-up. If they do, it will be either late tonight, early tomorrow morning, just so that player can get to Edmonton for tomorrow night's game. I believe that starts at 7 o'clock Mountain Time. And a huge shout-out. Knoblauch was shouting out Brett Kulak. I've praised him the other night. He has been solid for the Edmonton Oilers this season, and he just seems to be getting better as the season goes on. I get it's a contract year, so it has a lot of people scared, because we've seen that where contract years, you go and they do really well, and then you sign them to this nice contract thinking you're getting a steal of the deal, and then they just fall off the wagon. I don't think Brett Kulak's going to be that way. He is from the Edmonton area. I believe he, for his next contract, he'd like to stay an Edmonton Oiler. He's proving he should be an Edmonton Oiler past this year. Of course, playing with Darnell Nurse, he even looked really good on his offside, which brings me to kind of talk about just a little quickly here. If you can have Kulak playing second line minutes, you can still upgrade your defense. And names like Ivan Provorov is coming up. Or my favorite is Bowen Byram. He was mentioned. I did read an article that could be an option. Buffalo has Samuelson. He is currently injured now, so that's not really a way to go. Montreal, Mark Savard, if you want to just tough guy, third line that can kill penalties. We'll see how it goes. I get, the obvious choice would be leave Kulak on the third pairing, but when the guy's playing this good, you got to give him the ice time to keep cooking, and that's what the Edmonton Oilers need to do with Brett Kulak there. So if you can have him keep cooking for the rest of the season, yeah, he's going to go on a snide where, points might not be a factor, but the way he's skating, like he had that one rush last night, and the skating by him was phenomenal. It looked effortless. That is Jack Michael's words, was he skated effortlessly and it looked great. Like, just he's doing all the small things right. So, of course, I'll do a video about possibly a trade deadline target for defense. We got to remember we do not have a first-round pick for either this year or next year. The Oilers have to decide which one they're going to send to I believe it was the Flyers for that pick. So that's one pick that the Oilers will have to decide what they're doing. But you know what? Let's have fun with this 2-game winning streak. We're 8-7-1, and they play Nashville tomorrow. Hopefully move to 9-7-1. Like I said in yesterday's video, last night's game and this game against Nashville are 4 crucial points. Some of you might make fun of me. Oh, it's only November. Well, these November games against the weaker teams, you need to win. And the Oilers got the win last night. So thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Gillis TV. Have a good one.